Hello and welcome to Life with Francy podcast, a place where you will find all kinds of conversations like mental health, self love, self care, trauma, hobbies, and more. With this podcast, I want to create a community where we support one another in personal and business life. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Now, let's get the show started. Sorry, so I'm trying to record my solo episodes, but this is really hard. I give a shout out to everybody on YouTube that has a channel, them talking to the camera. This is not okay. But I'm trying since I record the podcast interviews and post it on YouTube. I'm going to try to record more solo episodes as well, doing it. But this is not okay. I don't know how many I can do. Anyways, on this podcast episode, we're going to be talking about my first year anniversary as a podcast host. I can't believe it. December 28th, 2022. No, 2021. I don't know what year it is. Like I told my mom, I was like, I'm still dealing with 2020. But anyways, December 28th, 2021, I decided to hit record. It was so funny because I didn't know. I was like, oh, it's still 2021. I should wait till 2022. But I have been talking about having a podcast for 4 years. And then the last 2 years, so from 2020, 2019, I was driving my friends crazy that I was going to have a podcast. And I did. I chose Anchor as my podcast platform. I love it. It's free, it's easy, and I have no problems with it so far. And they have the Anchor ad. And with that one, I was just talking to my friend how she reminded me how I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can get $1. It's going to take me forever to get to $1. And at the end of the year, I ended up with $38.70 for my Anchor ad. I'm so excited. It feels like $1 million for real. And because it's me, myself, and I have a virtual assistant, but it's pretty much been me for the first 6 months. And now I have gotten help from my virtual assistant and having a mentor to help me work through my trauma has helped be more focused on the podcast and get some things done. So I have over 4,000 downloads. Some it was because of the Headliner app advertising campaign. Some of you might not know I'm from Puerto Rico. English is my second language, and I get confused a lot with the words. So my episodes are real, are raw, no editing. Basically, if I can't, as of right now. So this is me. Anyways, Headliner app, I was using them, and I still use my virtual assistant still use them to make the audiograms. And it's just a great way to promote your podcast with the advertising campaign. They have thousands of podcasts in there as well as podcast listeners. So Headliner app, the advertisement campaign is great. They don't give me anything for giving them a shout out, but I just love them because I used them for the first 6 months by myself. And now that's where my virtual assistant keeps the audiograms. So if I want to repost them, I can find them easily through the app. They have great content on TikTok and on the app. They help you set up, you can do editing, marketing, all kinds of stuff. Headliner app. So the podcast Anchor ad that has given me some money as well. I got my notes over here, one of the cute notebooks. If you're on YouTube, you can see it, from Erin Condren. And it says how beautiful change can be. and I put Life with Francy because this is going to be for podcast content. Already getting ready for January. I have it covered with all the interviews already. I've been hustling. The podcast is very important to me. So I want to bring amazing guests and have great content for it. So in July, I started doing interviews, thanks to Veronica, my virtual assistant. So a little bit of her story. So she reached out to me to talk to me about Gemma Clegg, and she is a holistic coach. You can find her episode, Life with Gemma Clegg. And so she reached out to me about her, and I was like, well, I take it from the universe that I'm ready to do podcast interviews. Never in a million years, I thought that I was going to record over 30 interviews and have a virtual assistant and have 2 collaborations and everything because Veronica reached out to me about her client. So I asked her, I was like, hey, do you take new clients? Like, are you taking client? What's your story? And she didn't reply to me for a month. And I was like, I know that I need help, that I can't do this on my own, but I don't know who to hire. And virtual assistant can be very expensive, and I don't have income coming in. So, but I do got a good job. So I've been setting money aside for her. But I didn't know that it was for her. I was just like hoping. Long story short, she replied to me a month later because she was going through life, and she was in between. I would just work my job in the medical field in the Philippines or do freelance. And then she saw my email and she went all in on freelance. And one of the clients that I sent her was my mentor, Portia Newton. She saw that my social media was changing, and she was like, hey girl, what's up? What's happening? And I was like, oh my gosh, my virtual assistant is amazing. So if you want her information, I can share it with you. I would just not share it publicly because I'm the mediator. So I want to make sure that is like I can trust you, and she can, anyways, it's a lot of trust and a lot of things before I get to her. Anyways, so I hire her. Then my mentor hired her. Then she has a couple of people that she does a few tasks for. And now she has another client, another friend of mine. And because of it, she quit her job as in the medical field. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of her because she deserves that and more. She was able to move to a different community where she's able to have Wi-Fi in her home in the Philippines. So it's just amazing that because I kept going with my dreams and I reached out to her, she was able to change my life, and I was able to change her life, giving her other people to support her business because she does amazing. She does 100% of Instagram. I can't stand Instagram. If you DM me, I'll still contact. I will still reply and do the comments and the likes and stuff like that. But she's the one posting on Instagram, the graphic, and I'll do batch recording. She has me working. So I'll do batch recording for the reels. And she's the one that posted. So sometimes I'm not on social media for 2 or 3 days, but my content is covered. And she has it like blue and brown and just a day for everything, a day for graphics, a day for quotes, a day for promoting, a day for shout out. It's just amazing. We just had a meeting tonight. I record my podcast episodes usually the night before I post them. And we just finished our monthly or quarterly meetup. I think we're going to meet up every 3 months to have the goal set up. And she was very excited to know that I already have all the podcast interviews for January recording and one for February coming soon. And then I have planned 3 or 4 I think it's 3 solo podcast episodes. So my podcast is mostly interviews, and I add a solo episode here and there when I have a message for you guys, or I want to tell you about a new collaboration or something that is happening. She is also working on 50% of TikTok is her and 50% is me. I try to do like, well, the stories is me, and the reels, and I'm trying to bring more content, but it's hard. This girl is on every single platform she can find on. I am on Instagram, on TikTok. I started a YouTube channel. I have Facebook. I have a Facebook group that is private, a Facebook page, and my personal page. And my podcast is on 6 or 7 different platforms. So I'm everywhere. And she helps me out with that. She's working on my website, and we haven't launched it yet because I need to work on my online store and my paid membership coming soon. But I think the third or fourth week of January, I will be launching my website and 2 of the tiers for Patreon, because I'm excited. I just can't wait. I want to share it. It was supposed to be in December, but then I had to go to Puerto Rico. You can check out my last episode where I talk about my vacation to Puerto Rico and how that went down. I had to take an emergency trip to go and visit my mom for surgery. That was a scary day and situation, and I still did some podcast work while I was there too. If I'm not working in my job at the post office, I am working the podcast. Right now is 11 o'clock at night, and I have to go be at work 7 or 8. Well, I'm never at that time anyways. Let's not talk about that today. Let me see. Because of hiring my virtual assistant, I'm able to focus more on podcast interviews, and I have recorded, I think, over 40, no, over 30 interviews. I don't know if I have gotten to 40 yet. And that has helped a lot because she takes care of the show notes. I still look for the guest. I talk to the guests like 10 to 15 minutes before the podcast interview, and my interviews are freestyle, no editing. And I get my podcast guests from Podmatch or Women in Podcasting are my main 2 resources to bring the most amazing guests out there. She writes the show notes, create posts for social media. She posts my reels through the week. As I said, I batch record my videos. Right before this podcast episode, I recorded 3 videos that I gotta upload on Google Drive. I'm trying to give you ideas, like if you want to do this podcast thing or social media thing, batch recording is the way to go, because life can hit you and you still have content for social media. That's what I'm doing right now, and it's amazing. My virtual assistant made me work. I talked about that. Okay, so since I started posting, recording the podcast interviews, I didn't want to let it go to waste, so I started posting them on YouTube. So I have all my podcasts. I think I'm missing the first 2 because I had deleted them and not saved them. So I only have the first 2 or 3 interviews are on my podcast, but then the rest are on YouTube. I have 67 videos between mostly interviews and some of shorts. I have to get better at posting them and bringing content that is just for YouTube. Now, when I have my Patreon membership, then I will have group coachings and online events, and my patrons will get to see it first. before I post it on YouTube. So some of the content on Patreon will come to YouTube as well. It's just going to be priority for my patrons, and then I will show it for my YouTube subscribers, which I got 15 right now. Yay! I'm so excited. Like, that means a lot because it's me, myself, and I promoting myself, with the help of the virtual assistant. But YouTube is me right now. She doesn't take care of it because I can't afford her to take care of it, but I can't wait to create thumbnails and change my descriptions to bring more attraction to my YouTube channel. But right now it's like the lead platform that gets attention. But I love you, YouTube. I'm working on it. I have the event of Power Networking for podcasters in the Women in Podcasting group. I have those replays as YouTube content as well, which brings me to the 2 collaborations that I have made this year. And one of them is with Portia Newton, which is my mentor of 2 years. She has helped me deal with my trauma and when it comes to self-love, getting rid of shame and guilt. I have shared my story more on other podcasts. I have to create a video where I share my story and a podcast episode, but I have doing it little by little and be talking to Portia, my mentor, and my therapist, so I can help it. I can share it from a place of being healed and not something that could set me back, because I'm still having hard times with part of my story. But she helps me out with that. She shares a community, a pocket support community, Her Majesty Mastermind, Her Majesty Retreat, which I went to it on March of 2022. And now I'm returning to it January of 2023. So stay tuned for content just about this amazing retreat. This time I can tell everybody about it. This year when I went, I couldn't say too much on social media, but this time I scheduled vacation time and I have 2 weeks off to enjoy most of it in Arizona, where her retreat is hosted. And if you go to her website for more information, is Portia, P-O-R-S-C-H-A, Newton, NEWTON.net, and you can use coupon Francy for 10% off discount of her retreat, her community, and her online store where she sells stuff for your yoni. So she has bath herbs mix, cute merch, and much more in her store. Go check it out. I do get a small commission if you decide to use my coupon of 10% off. I love everything and anything that she has to offer. We have been working together for 2 years, but I have known her for 3 or 4 years. And right now she upped her prices on her one-on-one. So I'm not part of the one-on-one sessions anymore, but I am part of her mastermind, her inner circle, and her pocket support, and any workshops that she brings through the year, I'm part of it too, because I just love her community and everything that she has to offer. Another collaboration that I have made is Women in Podcasting Network with Jennifer Hensel, where she shares tips and more about podcasting. She helps you start it and monetize your podcast. So she loves helping women with their podcast. You can find her in LinkedIn, Facebook group, Instagram, podcast, YouTube channel, TikTok, everything under womaninpodcasting.net. She has her Elevating You Mastermind in there, where she has some amazing resources and how to create your podcast and how to create easier life when it comes to your podcast. She shares resources, tools. My link for her Elevating You Mastermind is womaninpodcasting.net/Francy. I get a small commission if you choose to work with her. I only join with people that I trust and trust me, and there's a mutual respect, and I want to bring you the best of the best as collaborations. As I am now leader in her community as a host of the Power Networking for Podcasting every third Thursday of each month. In that event, podcasters get to talk about their shows, and podcast guests get to talk about their expertise like book, service, coaching, and it's a nice way to collaborate with others and break the ice, because it feels like you guys know each other when you reach out to do a podcast interview or a podcast collaboration. I have found some amazing podcast guests in there, like Heidi de la Cruz, my co-host on the Power Networking event. She is the host of The American Dream in the Eyes of Immigrants. I recorded an episode on my podcast about her story, and her episode is called Life with Heidi de la Cruz. She is a podcast host. She has journals. She offers a poetry book. She's amazing. Go follow her on social media and check out her podcast. My episode will be live on March of 2023. And then through the Woman in Podcasting community, I also met Shakita Johnson, and she is the host of Chronicles of a Virgo. With her, I did another collaboration, and her episode is Live with Shakita Johnson, where she talks about her podcast and how she likes to help people with mental health, and she just want to bring more content and give people hope, and I just love her podcast. And my episode is called Embracing Your True Self, featuring Francy. So go and check it out. Chronicles of a Virgo. I have to drink some water. That is the secret of a podcaster. You have to have water. Anyways, I was in other podcast shows like Invest in Yourself, the podcast series by Feel Better. My episode is podcaster Francy talks to us about life with Francy. Another podcast guest I did in the Unlady Light Lounge episode, Daydreaming with Francy. The Fear Soul podcast, I did a collaboration with her where her episode is Life with Jordan, and my episode on her podcast, The Fear Soul, is Quantum Story series, Francy's story. Last but not least, another collaboration with What I Wish My Mother Taught Me podcast. My episode was about sharing, about setting boundaries. I will have her as a guest soon on my podcast, but we keep rescheduling. Life happens, and I'm very understandable when I try not to reschedule when it's me doing the appearance, but life happens. And then I am very open with podcast guests because I know that life happens. When I started this podcast, I thought that I would be talking about my fun, toxic poly relationship, but it has taken a turn, and it has changed my life for the better. It gave me courage that I needed to take baby steps for the life that I want to have and meet some people along the way. So I love it. I don't know where the podcast is going. I definitely didn't think that it was going to be here, how it is right now, and I just can't wait to see what else is in stores for my podcast and my website coming soon. Not much has changed on my social media, but I really use it as a tool to attract people for my podcast. I love marketing, so I enjoy making videos to promote podcasts or different collaborations. I have gotten to like 200 followers on TikTok, and I started TikTok just mainly for my podcast. Then for Instagram, I think I'm over 300 followers. On Facebook, I have over 500 followers, and YouTube, I have 15 subscribers. So it's not big. I'm still very, very small, but I am not giving up, and I love it. It's my passion, it's my mission. I just want to get the message out there to end the stigma about mental health and share my story around along the way, my struggles, the tools, the resources that I have used to get me to where I am today. Because of Bash recording the podcast and episodes and the reels for social media, I have been able to focus more on the website, and my virtual assistant is helping me to create my own journal. I gave her the idea and she's designing it because I have no skills as a designer. So that takes time, but it's in the process. I'm going to have my own line of journals and planners and notebooks because I have a million of them. So I can't wait to be creating my own soon. I will be adding an online store and a paid membership. I want to have lots of options for you to support me as well as me supporting you. I want to create a community where we help one another to get to the next level. Things that I can help you with is anxiety or depression, sharing tips and resources that have helped me to get to where I am today, and be an accountable partner if you need one. With my story, I hope I can help those who struggle with their mental health like I do, and that have struggled sharing their story and their trauma. But there are certain things that I don't know, and so I will find the resources for you if in the case that I can help you with something, either to find professional help in your area or another mentor that I know, because I have worked with so many people in the past and I have met some amazing people through doing podcast interview. And that's what I'm going to do. I am only going to work with people that I have interview on, the chemistry is mutual and the respect and the trust is mutual. So for me to bring my listeners or whoever some help, so it's like people that I trust. A business side, I can help you with anything with podcasting, marketing, social media planning. I love doing that, and I do have a system to share as well, and I can help create your own. So like my thing is I go through the calendar, see what's going on, and if I already know something is set up already, I can focus on doing social media content for that day. Like I know every Thursday of each month, I have the Power Networking event. So what I do is I will make videos promoting it, or graphics or social media posts that help get the message out there of those events. I'm still learning. It's complicated, but I can help you out as an accountable partner. Let me see. Oh, I have to do a video and a podcast episode where I'm sharing the people that I have learned from YouTube. I mean, YouTube University is real, man. And I have learned a lot through the years, as well as this year, to like have the Printify online store, PDF, Amazon publishing. So when I start doing my journals, anything with the podcast and things like that. So I need to share those resources with you guys. Cannot forget about the partnership with Podmatch. Podmatch is an amazing community for podcasters as well as podcast guests. And there I have done 22 interviews already from that amazing community. And we give each other reviews. They have a chart to make sure who's at the top 10 in the whole community. They have resources and tools to help you out with your podcast. And it's an affiliate link, so you can make money off doing podcast interviews. Right now, I have a whole $90 from all the interviews that I have made through the podcast. Some of them are paid, some of them are not. And if you would like to get to the link, is podmatch.com/signup/life with Francy. You can get a hold of me or podcast guests in that community through my link. So go check it out. All the links will be in the show notes to make it easier for you guys to find. Thank you so much for being in this crazy journey with me. I appreciate your support. Anything helps. I want to create an amazing community for 2023. I am working with some amazing people behind the scenes to bring some group coaching and online events, as well as in-person events. So that's coming for 2023. This party is just getting started, so stick with me. Remember, one of the ways that you can help me is subscribing to my YouTube channel, subscribing to a podcast platform, whichever you're listening to podcasts in, through Anchor, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. And then on my social media, if you want heads up or whatever is going on, my Life with Francy Facebook group is private. It is a private community. And there you can have a conversation with me and get to know what I'm working behind the scenes. Thank you again so much for your support and listening to another episode. Let me know what you think about me recording my solo episode. Is it a yay or a nay? And what kind of content you would like to have on this podcast and for this community as well. I appreciate you being here, and just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Anyways, hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye. The podcast can be found Mondays and Wednesdays on podcast platforms. I am trying to get caught up. I think I still have 2 more interviews that I need to post on YouTube. And the solo episode, it will be posted the same day as the podcast episode, Mondays or Wednesdays. So give me time for the YouTube channel, but the podcast is Mondays and Wednesdays. Hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.